Hello everyone, we're back again for another Facebook Live. Today I'm going to answer the question, what is the best fat burning foods? I had a question this morning from a member. I want to cover this topic in detail and explain, do these foods exist? How can they help you? And just in general, do foods boost your metabolism? So on and so forth. If you're on, guys, say hello. I'd love to see that you're watching. Comment below. As always, give me 1 minute and I'm going to share this around to all of our groups. But this is a good topic. I get asked this question probably once a week, but the way this question was framed this morning is important, and I'll explain why. Okay. So there's 2 people on. If you're on, guys, comment so I can see who's on. I'd love to see who's watching. Got 3 people on. Okay, I'm going to share this to our groups. So we've got Cardiff in. Share this to our other group. Hey Brooke, how are you? I was chatting with Monica about this yesterday, actually. That's good. Okay, it's in Adamstown. Okay, and one more group. Where is it? Give me a second. Okay, our new health community. This is a free public group for non-members. So if you aren't in this group, make sure that you do get in that. Okay. And now we're going to share this to our pages, and then we are good to go. There's 4 people on. Sarah Bragnell, Brett. Brett has lost 38 kilos, which is phenomenal. So go, Brett. Brett, you'll learn a lot from this video, mate. Just hang around. Okay, so it's in our groups. It's going to go to 2 pages now, which is just our Adamstown page and our Cardiff page, and we'll be away. Summer's on. Hey Summer, how are you? Great job this morning in the session. All right, so it's in all the groups. It is in all the pages. So I am going to kick off right now. So this morning a member said to me, Jamie, what are the best fat burning foods? Now, the way she framed this question slightly bothered me, because the way she framed this question, it was to say that, are there any foods that I can eat that will make me burn body fat? Are there any foods I can eat that will make me burn fat regardless of whether I'm training, whether I'm doing cardio, whether I'm lifting weights, whether I'm sleeping well, or whether I'm eating the right foods in general? When there is a statement like this, and I'm sure you saw this on Instagram or Facebook or on Daily Mail or an article like that, when you see something like this that seems too good to be true, it often is. Period, point blank. Fat burn, there is no food, particular food, a one-off food that will help you burn body fat regardless of whatever you're doing in regards to your training, nutrition, and sleep. Now, there is a macronutrient which does actually help your body expend calories. So if you're expending calories, will it help you get your body into a calorie deficit? Then will you burn body fat? Possibly. So the 3 macronutrients. We have carbohydrates, we have fats, and we have proteins. Now, when you see on Instagram these magical fat burning foods or foods that burn fat, what these people are talking about, they are simply talking about the macronutrient protein, and I'm going to explain why. When you eat food, your body has to go through certain processes, whether it's absorbing those nutrients, whether it's digesting that food. That process forces your body to expend energy. So for example, when you eat food, let's say that food is 100 calories, your body has to then burn a certain number of calories to go through that process of digestion. Now, where protein is the fat burning food or the fat burning macronutrient is because of this. So let's just say, we'll keep numbers simple. If you eat 100 calories of protein, it requires your body around 20 to 30% of those calories to digest that food group. So just protein in general, no certain protein, not one food, just macronutrient protein. So for example, if you eat 100 grams of protein, your body might expend 30 calories to digest that food. With carbohydrates, it's around 5 to 10%, and with fat, it's a 1%. So I'll recount. 100 calories of protein, your body might expend 30 calories to digest it. 100 calories of carbohydrates, your body might expend 10 calories to digest it. 100 calories of fat, your body might expend 1 calorie to digest it. So when you see fat-burning foods, these magical fat-burning foods that melt body fat, they don't. They're just simply talking about the thermic effect of food that Mitch and I covered in a podcast last week. So, in regards to protein having a higher thermic effect of food, can it help you burn body fat? Well, yeah, absolutely. But let's just say you eat 250 grams of protein per day, which equals 1,000 calories. So there's 4 calories in 1 gram of protein, 4 calories in 1 gram of carbohydrates, and 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. Let's just say that you eat 250 grams of protein, which equals 1,000 calories, and that thermic effect is 30%. That means your body is theoretically only getting 700 calories out of that food because it's requiring your body 300 calories to 300 calories to digest and process that food. So eating a high protein diet is definitely optional if you are trying to lose body fat, but more than just the thermic effect of food, high protein diets, there's a higher satiety index. That means when you eat protein, you are fuller. More importantly, the higher the protein, not the higher, if you eat a good amount of protein, so 1 to 2 grams, 1 to 2 grams per kilo of body weight, if you eat the optimal amount of protein, you're more likely to maintain your muscle when you are losing body fat. And if you are trying to gain weight, if you are trying to gain muscle, you're more likely to gain muscle as opposed to fat. So why don't we talk about this often? Why aren't we running around telling you people about the thermic effect of food? Why haven't we never mentioned before that if you eat 100 calories of protein, it expends 30 to digest them? Because it just doesn't matter in the end. Because if we're taking into account the thermic effect of food, it might be 200 to 300 calories max per day. Those 200 to 300 calories that your body expends using protein, that is 3 Tim Tams, that is 10 macadamias, that is 1 can of Coke. So when foods are marketed as fat-burning foods or foods that incinerate body fat, if there were foods that incinerated body fat, I'd be out of a job. They do not exist. They are talking about the macronutrient protein and the fact that protein has a higher thermic effect in your body. Once again, your body requires energy to expend. Your body expends energy to digest, to process that macronutrient. Now, just imagine someone was asked me for a meal plan or dieting advice, and I gave them a calorie number. Let's say it was just 2,000, but then I said, hey, if you increase your protein by 25 grams, that gives you an extra 100 calories. Therefore, there's an extra 30 calories through the process of thermic affecting of food. So you can have 30 calories extra of fat or carbohydrates. It's just really confusing, right? So we don't often talk about the thermic effect of food. We don't talk about that with our clients because nutrition is already complicated. I do not want to complicate this process more for you by talking about the thermic effect of food and how if you increase your protein, it's less calories, so now you can have more food. But then if you have carbohydrates, it's 10%, and then fat's 1%. But what type of proteins help? Do I get the same effect out of protein powder? It's just really confusing. So at the end of the day, there are no such thing as fat-burning foods. At the end of the day, protein does expend more energy in your body to digest than carbs and fats. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make a big difference in the long run. What's more important than the thermic effect of protein is the amount of protein you eat per day to ensure that you are maintaining a good amount of muscle, whether you are in a calorie deficit, losing body fat, or in a calorie surplus, trying to gain muscle. And the fact that protein is very, very helpful when it comes to ensuring that you feel full when you're in a calorie deficit. And that satiety index, so how full you feel after you eat a meal, is really, really helpful because there's nothing worse than when you're constantly in a calorie deficit trying to lose body fat and you're hungry. So I hope that clears things up a bit. When you see something like this magical fat-burning food, it's not magical. It's just protein. When you hear these bold statements, I want you to always think about this. For as long as I've been alive, 31 years on Sunday, don't forget to wish me happy birthday, we've been told 6 meals a day, 6 small meals a day to boost your metabolism. That was up until about 3 years ago. And then fasting became popular. Now it's 2 meals a day. Well, hang on. For the first 27 years of my life, I was told to have 6 meals a day. Now the new magical diet is to have 2 meals a day. That's why people get confused. The other one is low-fat diet. You got to have a low-fat diet to lose body fat. You got to have a low-fat diet. You can't have fat in your diet. If you eat fat, you get fat. I was told that for the first 25 years of my life. All of a sudden, the keto diet becomes popular. Now we've got to have butter on everything. We're going to have a high-fat diet to to start the process of ketosis. All these huge, bold statements, all these fancy diets that you hear of, they're not fancy, they're not new, they're just different ways for you to buy someone's ketogenic program. Different ways for you to, the person who asked me about these fat-burning foods, they would have saw it on Instagram, there would have been a link to some type of program that was, hey, buy this program for $49 and it will show you all of the fat-burning foods. And it would have been chicken, steak, beef, eggs, just protein in general. We don't want to overcomplicate nutrition. It is 4 main principles: calories in versus calories out. If you take in more calories than you expend, you will gain weight. If you expend more calories than you take in, you will lose weight. Protein intake, very simple, 1.5 to 2 grams per kilo of body weight per day. Water, 1.5 mils per kilo of body weight per day. And make sure that you get a good amount of sleep. The reason why people don't talk about those 4 principles over and over again is you cannot sell different programs based on those 4 principles because they are not sexy, they are not fun, and people do not want to hear that what's worked for 30 years still works, and they're always trying to reinvent that wheel. Don't reinvent the wheel. Do what has worked in the past. Do what science, I guess what the scientific research says, and just follow those 4 principles. And if you are confused, reach out. We do offer a nutrition challenge, and I'm more than happy to help you. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.